Verstappen moves across down the main straight. Charles Leclerc can't cover him off. Verstappen takes the lead.
When two childhood rivals are put in the fastest cars on the grid, we have a storm ready to explode and a great championship battle.
And I look at him and goes like this, alright? Like, what the hell did you do? And he was watching me, we touched a little bit, he took the white line that was wet and went straight.
He went into a puddle.
And he ended up in this puddle, which was like, he was really wet. Probably the water was arriving to his hips or something. Yeah, but we both got disqualified. Him for destroying me and me for...
Verstappen's got DRS once again. He's so close. He's wheel to wheel once again, but it is a very tricky part of the...
After 2 rounds, the honours are even, following a critical bounce-back week for Max Verstappen. And it's getting clearer that the battle for the championship will be between these two.
Nothing, just an incident on the race. Nothing.
It's the Australian Grand Prix Predictions. Watch the complete video to find out who my pick for the winner is, who could end up in the bottom half, the top 10 along with the podium, and the driver of the day. Did F1 really hire Nicholas Latifi to spice up the races and to create content for Drive to Survive? Looking at his recent performances, it looks like 2022 is the last season for Nicholas Latifi in F1. Latifi's teammate Alex Albon was running well in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix before his collision with Lance Stroll, which resulted in a retirement. Albon was found guilty for causing the incident and received a 3-place grid penalty for the Australian Grand Prix. Ever since Kevin Magnussen made a comeback to Formula 1 with the Haas F1 team, Mick Schumacher is under immense pressure, the pressure to perform better than his teammate, which costed him dearly in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Mick is just recovering from a horrendous crash and might need some more time to get back to his full pace. And then we have the two Asian rivals, Guan Yu Zhou and Yuki Tsunoda. Sebastian Vettel will return for the race in Melbourne and could find his way up to 14th, and that could be the best he can achieve with that car. Next up we have Alpine teammates Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. They gave us great entertainment in Saudi Arabia, but breaking into top 10 in Melbourne could be a difficult proposition. The return of Kevin Magnussen has seen 2 consecutive point-scoring finishes for Haas. Could there be a hat-trick of point-scoring finishes for K-Mag? I'm placing him right on the edge. McLaren is having a horrible season. To begin with, the team lost priceless practice time due to Daniel Ricciardo's COVID. To add on to that, the brake cooling issues have emerged that had not been apparent in the earlier test in Barcelona. Putting Daniel Ricciardo in the top 10 would require a lot of courage. But I'm placing him at number 10, considering it's his home race. As speculated earlier, it could take up to 6 to 8 races for Mercedes to be competitive. By that I mean not fighting with the Alpines and AlphaTauris. It's to be competitive at the front of the grid, fighting with the Ferraris and the Red Bulls for podiums and race wins. Their major problem has been porpoising, which is responsible for almost 99% of the lack of pace, and the car's true potential could not be unlocked unless it is solved. So we could see Lewis Hamilton and Pierre Gasly fighting for 8th and 9th places in the Australian Grand Prix. We could also see best mates Lando Norris and George Russell battle it out for the 6th and the 7th spots. Right now, any car with a Mercedes engine is struggling, though only a crazy person could predict 4 Mercedes-powered cars in the top 10.
I'm not crazy, I'm in control. I'm not crazy, I'm in control!
After an impressive start for the 2022 campaign, Valtteri Bottas is aiming high. Valtteri has set a target for himself, being the best of the rest. Valtteri Bottas has qualified 6th in his debut for Alfa Romeo and finished the race in the same place. He also qualified well in Saudi Arabia, lining up in P7. However, technical issues have forced his car to retire. Despite this, Bottas sees the huge potential in the car that could help him beat the rest of the midfield, be the best of the rest. For the Australian Grand Prix, I'm going for 5th for Valtteri. So we're down to the last 4. Who would be on the podium? Will it be Sergio Perez or Carlos Sainz? It's Sergio Perez. Max Verstappen can finally put an end to the argument. It's the car, because now he has to fight both the car and the driver. In 2019, we have seen a glimpse of how Verstappen-Leclerc battles would be, and now it's happening for real. The battle for the lead in the last two races have been surprisingly clean from both the drivers. More of the same has been anticipated for Australia. So my prediction for the Australian Grand Prix race winner is Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen to be runner-up.